That's not Batman. That's the Night Avenger. Can't you tell the difference? So, copyright. You might have seen this word alongside a circle with a C symbol in all kinds of media. This mentioning usually being in the credit sequence of video games and movies, or any other copyrighted material, or really wherever the copyright symbol is applicable, as it can reach all sorts of commercial art pieces, such as books and even music. Oh, but I am getting ahead of myself. Copyright itself, to put it in very simple terms, is a system that exists to make sure that those who create something that makes them money get said money for what they created. For you see, there are people out there that will resort to underhanded means of earning money, including taking said art piece or idea and claiming it as their own, with all of the credit and money that comes along with it. This is where copyright comes in, to make sure that the creator of an art piece gets what they deserve with this protection. To add even more depth here, this copyright exists in different ways depending on the medium. For example, copyright isn't going to have any issues if you make fan art about Spider-Man. However, copyright is more likely to take issue if you were to make a video game or film about this iconic web crawler, because that is where companies can decide to either file a cease and desist order or just simply ignore it. This is why these efforts are non-profit to begin with, as receiving a profit from an intellectual property is a surefire way to get said cease and desist order. Unfortunately, this doesn't guarantee protection with such fan projects, as companies such as Nintendo will shut down these projects despite no money being earned as a result. However, a solution that has worked a lot better for fan projects is to either make their own intellectual property based on the original ideas, or to make a legally distinct, we shall say, version of the intellectual property you were basing your project on in the first place. Doing either of these things is a much better idea to avoid a cease and desist order, as no one wants to have all their work and effort be all for naught. With that said, however, not everything about a property is copyrighted necessarily. A weird scenario that happened with me is the 2005 Chicken Little video game based on the 2005 Disney animated film of the same name. You see, this adaptation makes use of scenes directly from the movie itself. What you are seeing here are actual parts of the movie. So if one were to upload an extensive gameplay video to YouTube, which would no doubt feature some of these scenes, then YouTube would impose a copyright restriction on said video via a bot that scans for infringing content on anything copyrighted, audio or visual. Nowadays, these restrictions range from simply being unable to monetize the video, though still being watchable by anyone as intended, to outright blocking the video from anyone but you seeing it. Really just another version of the private option at this point. But anyway, what I did here was dispute the claim, as I have seen other gameplay videos on YouTube with movie scenes existing without any edits of any kind. My argument was that while this was indeed footage from the movie, it is still fair game due to how the movie adaptation repurposes the footage into something different. In this case, repurposing itself alongside the non-copyrighted content of the game. That is, the content that won't get blocked on YouTube. A pretty weird example to say the least. But what I want to emphasize here is that if the copyrighted content is repurposed or altered enough so as not to be the main focus, then you are more likely to not get a cease and desist order when working with said content. That's it for now. Oh, look at the time, gotta go, bye!